Today we are talking about something that I don't frequently talk about, and that's video games. I wanted to bring this video to you today because video games are one of the biggest sellers on eBay, and I would be remiss if I didn't start looking for them. And you and I, my friend, can do this. If you are one of those people that looks at video games when you see them in the thrift store or at garage sales and your eyes just cross and you don't even know where to start, then this is your starting point. Today we're going to talk about 10 Wii games for you to keep on your radar. And personally, I am opening up my notes app on my phone and I'm making a note for Wii games, and I'm going to have a list so that when I go to a garage sale or an estate sale, thrift store, and I see all those Wii games and my eyes start crossing, then I'm going to pull out my list. Whether you do it, say, on your phone or you have a notebook you carry with you, have a little list going because there's some serious money here. And if you're walking by like I do, because I see them and my eyes just kind of glaze over, even just having 10 that you can look for is really valuable. Now, there are tons that are worth a lot of money, but if you can at least get a few under your belt and then add from there, you could make so much money, because when you see the sell-through rate on some of these Wii games, you're going to be blown away. Here we go. If you see a stack of Wii games, you'll notice the Wii along the side. Sometimes it'll be a blue and it'll say Wii U, which is just another version of the console. First app is PokePark, Pikachu's Adventures. When I looked this one up on TerraPeak, I put Wii PokePark and I see that it has a 70% sell-through rate and the average sold price is around $33. If you see some of these other Pokemon type games, there's other PokeParks as well. Look them up because they may also be worth money, but that's a good jumping off point, PokePark. The next game that I found was this Wii U. You can see along the spine there where it's got a Wii and then a little blue U. And the one I looked up was Game and Wario. Wario is a character from Mario, the Mario Brothers games. So Game and Wario, but then when I searched it over here on TerraPeak, Wii U, Game and Wario, I noticed some other ones popping up as well. The sell-through rate was 63% and the average sold price was $65. So tell me it's not worth it if you see a bunch of games there to flip through real quick those Wii games and see if you see Game and Wario. So Game and Wario was one that I saw, but it kept popping up this other one, Wario Land and WarioWare. So if you see this guy with this crickety mustache, WarioWare Smooth Moves, that was another one. This one sold for $7. However, when I'm looking down here, I see another one sold for $17.95. Basically, if I see Wario, I'm going to take a look at that and double check it, because I'm noticing a couple of other ones here that have that Wario Land, WarioWare, that I'm going to look up, because with that sell-through rate and that average sold price, that is a winner in my book. The next one to write down is Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, and this one, the sell-through rate is 60%. The average sold price on this game is $105. This is probably the one that I have found the most often. I've sold this one, Wii Sport and Wii Resort, which also I'll pull up. This one's a little trickier because it's not in a case. It's like in this little envelope, because a lot of times this came with the original game system, but it has a lot of really fun games on it. So it'll come in a little envelope like this, but even if the disc is without the envelope, disc by itself can still sell for really good money. So let's take a look at Wii Sport. Wii Sport, we've got a 73% sell-through rate, with the average sold price being $32. And look, you can see here, well, this is a game lot, but there are some here where it's just the disc by itself and it can still sell. Next, we have Rhythm Heaven Fever for Wii. And this one, when I did the research, 81% sell-through rate. And the average sold price for this game is $126. So when you're looking, look for that rainbowy. Let's see if the spine looks rainbowy too, because that's going to help. Because a lot of times the spine is just really standard. Oh, no, they're not going to show me the spine. Oh yeah. So you can see the spine here doesn't have the rainbowy, but you can still see Rhythm Heaven Fever. kind of rainbowy effect to it. So keep an eye out for that one because that is a lot of money for a game. Here's the other one, the Wii Sport Resort. This is another one that's a great seller. This one, like I said, that and the Wii Sport I've sold a number of those. So this is a 79% sell-through rate with a $33 average sold price. Next up is Coraline. So Coraline was written by one of my favorite authors, Neil Gaiman, and there was an animated movie. I guess it's a stop motion type movie. It's a little scary, you know, but Coraline, I can't imagine what the game would be like. So Coraline's game has an average sell-through rate of 77% with an average sold price of $77. So Coraline, keep an eye out for her. Next up is Wii U Zelda. There are a few different Zelda games, but basically if you see a Zelda game, look it up. Let's look at the research over here for Wii U Zelda, just in general, because there's lots of different ones, Legends of Zelda. This one is Twilight Princess. Oh, I did the search for Twilight Princess because that was the one I was noticing. Wow, that one's popping up a lot and for quite a bit of money. So 89% sell-through rate for Legends of Zelda Twilight Princess with 42% average sold price. Let's just take that off let's just do Wii and we'll take out U just so we just have Wii Zelda so we can see overall all the Zelda games. So all the Wii Zelda games, whether Wii U or with the different specific ones, still a 58% sell-through rate with a $38 average sold price. Next up is Turbo. So Turbo's the snail animation, the racing car snail, and you can see here even this Turbo disc by itself. Are these sold? These aren't sold, but they can sell even without the case. Let me pop on the sold over here so we can see if there's any that sold without the case. No, but there might be further down. But anyway, let's take a look. I mean, I'm looking at those prices. So average sell-through rate is 49% on this Wii U Turbo game. Average sold price, $109. Next up, there are two characters that are well loved by all, apparently, that play video games, and that's Mario and Sonic. And when Mario and Sonic get together, they make a baby that makes a lot of money. So Mario and Sonic games. This is Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympics. This game has a 51% sell-through rate at an average sold price of $51. There are other Mario and Sonic games. So here I just typed in, there are other even just Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games versus the Rio Olympic Games. But just at the Olympic Games, $50% sell-through rate with an average sold price of $15. So basically, if you see Mario and Sonic, whether together or by themselves, take a minute to look them up, but specifically this one at the Olympic Games is doing a really great, selling at around 51% average sold price, 51% sell-through rate. So why video games? If you do a search, just a Google search for top items that sell on eBay, video games is going to be in almost every list that you find. So when I started doing a little more research about what am I going to be doing to sell more and things that are selling more quickly here now that we've moved, video games is something that I'm just going to have to open up and broaden my horizons and start looking at. And the way that I'm able to do that is by diving into the research. So if you are wondering like, well, how are you coming up with these names? Or I want to add on to this list, Margaret. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I want to add more. So if I see a big bunch, I don't leave something behind. Here's what I do. So I go to eBay and let's say I'm just going to start with Wii because that's one console I can focus in on. If you want to start with Xbox, Sony, PlayStation, what have you, then you can, narrow it down by the different gaming systems. But I just started with Wii because it's one that I see out frequently. I put in Wii video game and then I scroll down over here to the condition. I put good because probably that's what I'll find. Good, very good, acceptable. Unlikely that I'll find brand new. I scroll down to US only because that's where I am. And then I select sold and completed listings. And then what I do is I start looking. I scroll through and I'm looking. Oh, I one other thing. I varied the price here because I'm wanting ones that are selling for a little bit more, You can change the pricing format here to any price range or between certain amounts. I chose 35 and up, but let's say I did $20 and up because that would be great for me too. Once I have a certain range selected, then I'll come over, I'm going to scoochie this over a little bit, and I can sort this by price, by the highest, or I can sort it by ended recently. I want to see what things I'm noticing over and over and over again. So Mario, you know, I saw Mario, no, this was, yeah, I saw Mario Brothers there, Mario here, here's Wii Sports, Wii Sports, Wii Sports Resort. And I start trying to keep track. Oh, there's another Mario. Okay, in my mind, oh, look, there's another Mario. Okay, so then Sonic and Mario, those names that you keep saying out loud, Mario, Sonic, Wii Sports, Mario, Sonic, Wii Sports, Mario again, there's Resort, Super Smash Brothers, you know, as I'm saying them, oh, okay, another Mario. And then as you do that, you're going to start hearing yourself saying the same words over and over and over again. And then you're like, okay, got it. There's another sport resort. Got it. If you have a store, then you can come over and select research on your selling hub for Terapeak. Now, if you don't have that, you can still, just what I was doing, start looking at what are you saying over and over and over again, and then do that search. So here, let me go back to that real quick, and I'll come back to Terapeak. So let's say I keep seeing Mario. So let's type in Wii. If I didn't have Terapeak or a store, I would type in Wii Mario, I would spell it right, and just go with that because there's so many different ones. Then I like to do gallery view because I can see more at one time. And again, I'm going to come down here. Okay, so many, 18,000. I'm going to start selecting these down to kind of narrow it down to what I'm going to find probably. I want it to be over $35. It refreshes it every time. It's kind of annoying. I do buy it now. I don't do auctions. So I'm trying to narrow it down as much as I can. So scrolling down again, sorry if it makes you dizzy. US only. One more time to scroll. One more time to scroll. And then I'm coming to sold items. Now I've got 1,400 results for Wii Mario. And then I can either continue looking at ended recently, and I'm just going to start noticing the ones I see over and over and over again. Mario Kart, Mario Kart, Mario Kart, over and over. All right, Guitar Hero, how did you end up in there? Maybe there's a Mario Kart, I don't even know. Oh, it's a lot. Okay, so lots and lots of Mario Kart, right? And then what is this one? This one, again, Mario Kart. Okay, so Mario Kart 8, that's another one, right? Mario Super Sluggers. So again, that's what I would do if I didn't have the research tool. So let's come over here, Wii, Mario, and that's all I'm going to type in on my Terapeak just to kind of get an idea. 60% sell-through rate, $36 average sold price. If I see Mario, pretty much anything, then I know, okay, grab it. So that's how I go about doing my research, looking these things up and trying to hone in on ones that I can add to my list so that when I go out, I'm prepared and I'm not having to sit. Now, I will sit and look things up on the spot, but this way I can kind of jump the gun, especially because video game sellers are they're out there, they're cutthroat, and they're going to jump on those video games, and you could be looking at them at the garage sale and some dude's going to swoop in and tell the garage sale guy, I'll give you $100 for all your games, and they'll just snipe them out right from underneath you. So it's good to be able to have a list to get started with that you can start grabbing those up to buy them when you're out thrifting or garage selling. I hope you find this video helpful. I've got a whole series of things that are selling now to help you become more successful selling on eBay. And if you are interested, please consider subscribing to my channel because this is one of the ways that I support myself and my children. And I would love to have you along for the ride. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.